Hello, welcome. As we're waiting for folks to join us, we would love to have you please share a book or a quote that you love or that has significant meaning to you in the Q&A. So we're just going to wait a couple more minutes to let people get into the meeting. We'd love to see what your favorite books or a favorite quote is. If you've just joined us, as we're waiting for folks to get into the meeting, please feel free to share a book or a quote that you love or that has significant meaning to you in the question and answer, the Q&A. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. We are so glad you could join us as we share about a new program for ninth grade students that we are really excited about. I'm Kathy Wellington, and I'm the curriculum developer who oversees secondary ELA from 6th through 12th grade. And on the call with us today are my colleagues, Tara Gray, who's the principal support for the adaptive software program we're going to be talking about this evening. We have Patty Sigworth, who's the executive director over secondary schools. We have Gargi Trishelle, who is the coordinator for equity and family engagement support for secondary schools. And we have Kalina Crafton, who is a literacy coach and has helped to implement Lexia PowerUp at one of our middle schools. Today is a time for us to learn about literacy enrichment for our students in high school, how Lexia PowerUp will strengthen these skills, and how you can help to support your students. As we move through our learning today, you may want to take a few notes or have a place where you can record reflections as you learn things about Lexia PowerUp. Please use the question and answer tab if you have any questions throughout this learning. We have a team ready to respond as we move through our learning together, and we'll also have time at the end for any questions. Gargi Trishelle is going to share a little bit about our family partnership.
Thank you for joining us today. We believe that family engagement is a vital and necessary component to student success, and we thank you for being present today and willing to partner with teachers and staff for student learning. We ask you to engage with us in 3 ways: by being here, you've already done the first step, and learning how Lexia PowerUp supports the development of your students' literacy skills. We ask you to encourage your student to use the software for at least the minimum usage time. And we ask you to connect with your student's English teacher or an assigned staff member if you have further questions or concerns. Thank you again for your engagement.
Thank you, Gargi. We know that as students move through high school, that texts increase in length and complexity. The more proficient a student is with understanding and the more efficient a student is, the more successful they will feel. Students may earn an A in their English class and still feel like they're working harder or that it takes them longer than their peers to make meaning of what they're reading. We have many students who are very persistent readers, but they may feel like they have a hard time keeping track of characters in a story or facts in a history book. When students work on their core reading skills, they will find that their reading is more interesting because they're able to keep track of those characters and facts, and they can make meaning from their reading. They can check in on their own understanding and are able to focus their attention on the meaning of what they're reading rather than the words themselves. They will not only become proficient readers, but also efficient readers. Lexia PowerUp will have a positive impact not only in their ELA classes, but also in their other subject areas. Students who are confident readers tend to enjoy school more, and lifelong independent learning is one of the most important skills students can gain from their schooling. We do recognize that students are already spending more time on devices, and we believe that time spent in Lexia PowerUp this year will positively shape a student's high school career and will have lifetime benefits. Our focus tonight and our centralized support is for 9th grade students, but we also wanted to let you know that Lexia PowerUp is available from 6th through 9th grade, and we also have another program at the elementary level called Lexia Core 5. Why should students in 9th grade use Lexia PowerUp? It provides a flexible and independent platform, and it is available to meet students' individual needs outside of class. It allows for student-driven choice and learning. It will help to address unfinished learning that an individual student may have, and it helps to ensure that students have a strong literacy foundation for a more positive and productive high school experience. A question you may have is, how does Lexia PowerUp serve my students differently than their classroom teacher? Lexia PowerUp does not replace a classroom teacher, but it can individualize instruction based on an individual student's needs, and it provides flexibility that is not dictated by a specific course or teacher. We're going to learn a little bit more about Lexia PowerUp and how it helps students become more proficient and confident readers by focusing on 3 fundamental areas of reading. It is adaptive software that creates a program specific to your student. Lexia PowerUp is made of 3 strands: word study, which is recognizing and reading printed word and building reading fluency; grammar, which is understanding language patterns and grammar rules; and comprehension, reading and interpreting text, as well as monitoring understanding of a text. Word study and grammar are building blocks to comprehension, and although Lexia PowerUp doesn't specifically work on writing skills, we have seen that students become more proficient. As students become more proficient and fluent readers, they often become better writers. Lexia PowerUp blends online student-driven instruction with teacher-delivered lessons. And when a student meets a skill that is challenging, Lexia PowerUp will use different tools to help teach that concept. And if the student still needs help with a concept, Lexia PowerUp will flag them to work on a lesson with their teacher. This is one-on-one focused learning that is invaluable for the growth of your student. Lexia PowerUp supports learning by being adaptive, so lessons and activities adjust to match your individual students' needs. They provide visuals and prompts, so there are short films and clips and instruction that adjusts to your students' responses. And there's student choice, so there's a selection of activities for students to develop reading skills. Lexia also provides high interest reading from diverse authors, and they focus on both informational and literary readings, which will prepare students for reading beyond the ELA classroom. Let's take a look at what students see when they launch into Lexia PowerUp and how you access the program. I think we are having audio difficulties. Please stand by. Hello, today I'm going to show you how to access Lexia PowerUp through the student portal, and I will give you a quick overview of the program itself. You can start by going to bsd405.org, click on the Student tab, then click on Student Portal. You'll then click on the orange Clever tile, which will launch you into your individual Clever. Hello, today I'm going to show you how to access Lexia PowerUp through the student portal, and I will give you a quick overview of the program itself. You can start by going to bsd405.org, click on the Student tab, then click on Student Portal. You'll then click on the orange Clever tile, which will launch you into your individual Clever program. You will then click on Lexia PowerUp, and that will launch you into the Lexia PowerUp program. When you get into the program, you will see these 4 tiles after you've completed the initial diagnostic. The first 3 tiles shows you the different strands you will be working in, and the 4th tile shows your progress over time. The program determines what supports you need in reading, and it will give you a goal of specific minutes for each strand area. You can see the student has a goal of 25 minutes in each strand. The week starts over every Monday, and because today is Monday, the student has not yet put minutes in this week, but as he does, you will see the minute circle add up over the week as it travels around this larger circle. The next thing you'll want to go to is your progress tile, and when you click on that tile, it launches you into this page. Streaks are earned when a student completes 5 questions in a row and gets the answer correct for all 5 questions. Levels are larger units completed over time. And this last box shows progress over today, this week, and over all the time that the student has been in the program. You can see this student had not really worked in the program yet this week because today is Monday and everything resets on Monday, but you can see his progress over time. He's completed a little over 1,300 minutes, and he's completed 366 units. Down below, you can see the different strands and progress for those individual strands. This student is almost completed, has almost completed at level 11 out of 12 in word study. He has completed almost all of grammar. You can see that he is almost finished with level 7. And then in comprehension, he's completed almost 14 levels out of 16. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to those original tiles, and we're going to click into the program and just see what the program looks like.
A friend keeps your secret, or your dog loves you no matter what. That's loyalty. Staying true to friends, being true to yourself, and pursuing an argument with fidelity are also acts of loyalty.
So this student is going to be learning about argumentation using part of the text of The Outsiders. As you can see, the program itself is interactive and works to be engaging, and it is working through topics that are invaluable for students in high school to know. I hope this quick overview has been helpful for you. Please reach out with any questions, and thank you so much for your time today. Thanks so much. I hope you found it helpful to see what the program looks like from your student's point of view. Once the student completes the initial diagnostic, they will be placed in different levels in the program based on their needs. One way for you to support your student is to help them create a log to follow their progress throughout Lexia PowerUp, and this will help them to both set goals and to see their progress over time in the program. Kalina Crafton is a literacy specialist at Odell Middle School. She's been working with students, teachers, and families at that school to launch Lexia PowerUp, and she's going to share with us a little bit about her experience with Lexia. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for making time for this tonight, and thank you, Kathy, for the introduction. As Kathy said, I've just been working with teachers to help facilitate some Lexia rollout at Odell Middle School, and I'm happy to provide some insights from that and perspective. One thing that I like about Lexia is it breaks down essentially live, up-to-date data for teachers that I think helps teachers get to know a lot more about their students' reading skills. It provides information on standards, progress and growth, areas for further practice, and then areas for instructional focus for a teacher. Another thing that we've noticed is that many of our 6th graders at our middle school who've engaged in the program have started to see growth in the program and saw their reading skills transfer to quite a lot of growth on their last district assessment as well. We also saw 73% of our 6th graders have grown at least one level in at least one of the strands in Lexia since they started. So both of these are good signs for us that Lexia is leading to growth and transfer of skills for our students so far as they work in the program. Another thing I think Lexia provides is some transparency for this reading growth. And our students often work really hard for growing their reading skills. And because growing reading skills is such a gradual process, that growth isn't easily visible for them or for teachers or for families, especially for those students. Lexia makes it a little bit more transparent to students. They're able to go into that progress tab, like Kathy was saying, and they're able to see their own progress and their own growth so far and celebrate that. Which has really started to increase a lot of self-esteem and investment in themselves as readers, at least in the students that are working in the program that I've seen at our school. Teachers at our school have also engaged students in reflecting on this growth and setting goals for them throughout the year. Teachers have celebrated that growth whole class with students, and students have found a lot of joy and confidence and self-esteem boost in seeing their own growth, reflecting on it, hearing their name shouted out in front of the rest of the class to celebrate their success, private shout outs with their teachers, sharing those with families. It's led to a lot more participation, greater confidence, more reading out loud in class, more hands being raised, and just a general increase in, I think, positivity about reading, especially for our students who haven't always expressed positivity or positive identities when it comes to reading. We're starting to see a shift in that, which is really nice. And just a last note, none of this would be possible without parent support, and we've seen a huge increase in engagement with parent support, just helping remind students to engage, celebrating student success with them. And so I just want to, thank you all for all that you do to support us. It really does make a huge difference in their engagement and then ultimately their growth and that confidence that we're starting to see, at least at Odell. That's it. I'm going to pass it back to you, Kathy. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kalina. I also wanted to share with you some supports that are available within the program. And if you find your student getting stuck, or if you're trying to help your student and you yourself are getting stuck, there are some supports that are built in. You can see the different images that are on the right-hand side, and you can click those different buttons to get different types of help. Key idea lets the student replay the introduction to the skill. So if they want to be retaught the skill, they can click the light bulb. Directions and how to complete the activity can be replayed at any time. The target provides the opportunity for students to rehear a question or a word. Listen mode helps them to hear professional readings of a text. And there is support in Spanish for the directions. So if your household speaks Spanish, that having those directions in Spanish can be particularly helpful. And there are on-demand videos that allow students to replay the most recent instructional video. So this is a way to help both you and your student see success in the program. We wanted to let you know how families can help with Lexia PowerUp. And we wanted to let you know that we hope that your family can help to establish a routine for daily practice. Can we click on the next slide? Thank you. So our goal for students is to spend a minimum of 80 minutes each week in the program. The program itself may ask your students to spend up to 145 minutes per week. Our goal as a district is for that minimum of 80 minutes a week, and that's what we're shooting for. So we find that to be something that we consider a success if students have spent at least 80 minutes. Of course, the more time that the student spends in the program, the more they'll be working on their reading skills, and the more likely they are to gain better understanding and proficiency in reading. We also would love to have you check their home screen on Tuesday or Wednesday of every week. So remember, in the video you saw that the week flips over on Monday. So our hope would be that by Tuesday or Wednesday, your students would have spent some time in the program. And you can check in with them sometime midweek, or maybe it's a day that you and your student decide you'll check in, just to see if they have put some time into the program before the week is over and their time is slipping over again the following Monday. And then please remind your students that their progress is going to help to positively shape their high school experience and their time beyond 9th grade. So becoming a more proficient reader in your first year of high school is going to pay dividends as you become a 10th grader, 11th grader, and then work towards graduation. We also wanted to talk a little bit about celebrating success. You heard Kalina talk about how teachers are celebrating success in the classroom. It's really helpful for you to talk to your student about their progress in Lexia PowerUp. You can ask them what their favorite strand is, what passages they've enjoyed, and what activities have helped them to learn. You can use your progress tracker that was sent out in the original email, and you can celebrate success when students are meeting those weekly goals, successfully completing units or completing a level. And you can also help your student find personal reading materials outside of Lexia PowerUp. So maybe they have a good book that they want to read. I've talked to a number of students who have actually learned about different books inside of Lexia PowerUp and maybe read a passage from one, and they actually want to go out and either check out the book from the library or maybe even purchase it for their own reading because it has sparked their interest. We also wanted to tell you how schools are helping your student with Lexia PowerUp. So we are working to assign support staff, and that person will meet with students on a regularly scheduled basis. And we have families that can check in with school staff to better understand student progress and identify any barriers or areas of challenge. And then we're also offering this year a 0.5 elective credit that's going to be available for any 9th grader who successfully completes all of the levels in Lexia PowerUp. So again, in the video, we saw that student moving through the levels. So once that student has gotten all the way over to the end, so level 12 in word study, level 7 in grammar, and level 16 in comprehension, they will have completed the program and they can earn that 0.5 elective credit. I'm going to introduce you to Patty Sigworth, who's going to share a little bit about collaboration with you and within the district.
Hi, good evening. Again, thank you for joining us. Collaboration is really important as we implement use of this new adaptive software. You can see the table that reflects the numerous individuals engaged in supporting Lexia implementation, and then you can also see their respective roles within the partnership. We invite you to lean in to this partnership by engaging in weekly monitoring of your students' Lexia use and progress and reinforcing that progress. You too are a critical partner. Monitoring your students' progress and then engaging with them in really meaningful dialogue related to their progress is a powerful lever for your student success. We're really excited about the opportunity to partner with you related to your students' learning. Kathy?
Thank you. I hope this overview has been helpful for you. If you need more help, you can contact either me, I'm Kathy Wellington. You'll see my email address up on the screen, or you can also contact Tara Gray. You can see her picture up on the screen and her email. We're happy to help you with any questions you may have about Lexia PowerUp. And I also wanted to offer some time right now to answer questions. So if you have questions after seeing this presentation, you can go ahead and put your question in the question and answer box, and we will answer those questions right now. I'm going to give just a minute or two because I know it takes a moment to type. So I'll just give it a minute to see if there's any questions right now. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing any questions right now. We are so glad that you were able to join us tonight. Thank you for your time tonight. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me, Kathy Wellington at wellingtonc@bsd405.org, or Tara Gray at grayt@bsd405.org. We'll be happy to answer any questions and support you in any way that we can. Thank you again for your time tonight, and we really enjoyed spending some time with you. Have a good evening.